Go to Google and type Notion. Search for Notion. When you see this is what we need, this is the Notion we need. So you can see Notion, your connected workspace for wiki, docs, and projects. Now, if I click it now, when you click it, if you do not have an account, then you can create an account. But because I have an account already, all I have to do is to log in. So because I already have something on my Canva or on my Notion, that is why it brought this. If you are new, then what it will bring for you is just this Notion 2.2, Notion 2.3, where you can click on and read about how Notion works. But because I already have things that I do on Notion, that's why you see Beckham and then you see Alex Connect. If I click on Beckham now, I have a whole lot of a whole lot of things going on in this Beckham. You see, I have my channels. If I click on channels, I have LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp. If I go back, I have books and courses. Those are my books. So Notion is my go-to website. I use it a lot because it is an all-encompassing website where you can do everything. You can do everything in it. To create a new page on Notion, all you have to do is to come here, click on new. You know, it will look different on your own site because you've not done anything on it before. You can see this new again. Let's name it. Let's name it Notion class. I have named it Notion class now. Then I can give it an add icon. If I want to add icon to it, let's go to icon. You can add any icon to it. Let's say I want to add this bump to as my icon. You can also add cover to it. That is what I did here. You see this Beckham, you see that I add this cover. This is the icon and this is the cover. It makes it look different. I just like arranging my things. So if I go to YouTube, you see this is my channels. You see social media. That's the cover that I use. For YouTube, I use this one. For LinkedIn, I use LinkedIn. For Facebook, I use Facebook. That is how I love to do my work. Like I love to keep my workspace neat. So if I click on cover now, you can now change cover. It will put a cover that it wants there automatically. Now you can click on change cover. You can either upload your cover from your own device or you go to Unsplash. And let me just type class. Maybe we are talking about class. Let me just type class and then I can just choose anyone. Once I click on it now, it will replace it. But I don't want that one. Let me say I want another one. I can change it again. This is Notion class and this is my icon and this is my cover. Now we are here. This is our new workspace. If we want to, if you scroll down here now, you see this is my Alex, this is Beckham. Let's look for this one that we just created. You scroll down and then you go to more. When you go to more, you can see the Notion class that we created. Then we can open the Notion class. After opening the Notion class, if you work directly, if you just do everything you need to do here, maybe you insert table, form and everything will just be in one place. But for our work to be well organized, I love to open a lot of page in this. So now let's say I want to talk about, let's say on this Notion class now, in this Notion class workspace, I want to create a content calendar. You just put your cursor here. You see this plus here, click on the plus. It will ask you, what do you want to do? Do you want to type text? Do you want a page, to-do list, heading, every other thing? I will choose page because I need it to give me a page in the Notion workspace. So for this page now, let me call it content calendar. I will go back, then you can come up here and click on Notion class. Now we have content calendar here. Let me add another one. I'll click on plus, I'll click on page, then I can say, okay, what do you want to talk about? What do I want now? Let me just say, okay, YouTube. Maybe I want to create my YouTube content. Let me call it YouTube content. Maybe I want to be saving my content, my YouTube content here. Then the next one, maybe a client form. Let's call it client form. Okay. So we come to Notion class. Whenever you come to your workspace and you want to create your content calendar, let's click on content calendar. So now when you come to your content calendar, this one is in table form. So let's say you want to create our content calendar in table form. All you have to do is come to this place, click on plus. You always use plus to add. So you scroll down and then go to table. This is table. Add simple tabular content to your page. This is table. Now, let's say I want the content calendar to be from, let me just say, Monday. Then the next one, I can tab and it goes to Tuesday. Then to add another column, you click on this plus here. It will add another column. I want 7 since we have 7 days in the week. 4, 5, 6, 7. Then I can name it Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then whatever I want to put here, maybe okay, I have now put the days of the week, but I need a colon by the left hand side here. You just click on this, you just come to this place, this one that is up here, and you add insert colon to the left. Then it will add a colon to the left. Assuming I want the colon to be by its right, I'll just click on this and I'll say insert colon to the right. It will add colon to the right. If I don't need it again, I can click on it and then I'll select delete. It will delete the colon. If I want to add row at down, I'll just click on the plus that is at the end here. If I want to add row to the down, I'll click on this and I'll say insert below or insert above. Then you can fill it and everything you want here. Let's say I want to give the headings color. You select the text, then you come to this place and you select the color that you want. That's what I did here. You select the text and you give it color. Another type of content calendar that I use is the calendar view. So you come down here and you click plus. When you click on plus, you scroll down. Just make sure you look through all these things that are in this plus. You scroll down and you go to calendar. You see we have table view, board view. Click on calendar view. When you click on calendar view, it will ask you, do you want to link or create a database? We are creating a database, a new database. We are not linking to any old database. So it is untitled. I can just call it content or whatever I want it to be. I can call it content. So if I want to create content in advance for, let's say, November, and now you can come here, you see what I click here, you can click on this arrow. This is October 2024. If I want to start creating from November 1st, I can click on this arrow, then I click on November 1 plus. When you click on the plus, it will bring a new page for you. Then let's say on November 1st, so I want to post about, let's say I want to post Yoruba, then I can put the content of that Yoruba here. I can add your content here. So let's say I'm done with that one. I want to go to November 2. I'll go back to content. Then I can go to November 2. Maybe I don't want to post on November 2. I'll be posting on November 4 next. Then I go to November 1st. Maybe on November 1st, I want to post English. I'll title it English. And I will put the content here. So that is to create the content calendar. It makes the work very easy. This one is the list view. List view. If you want your content to be arranged like you are listing the content, you can see this is the list view. And if you have made it in list view or you've made it in calendar and you want to turn it to list view or anyhow, you can just come to, when you just come to the, you see I call this one voiced. So you just give it any name. You can view database. You can do anything. If you want to edit it, you can click here and then you want to change the layout. I want to change the layout to gallery. I don't want it to be in list view again. You see, I've changed it to gallery. Now, this is how it is. If I want to change it to be in form of a chart, this is what it will look like. Because I did not add tag, it will not be. If I want it to be in, I want it to be in calendar form. You see, it is in calendar form. It gave it date automatically because it was in calendar form before I changed it to list view. So each of the content had date assigned to them. So that was why I put them on different dates. Now I want to return it back to list view. You go to layout and you go to list view. So when you are also working, you can also add tag to your work. Maybe this one now, I want that tag to be maybe I want to say, okay, this one is short. I'll be posting this video as short. I'll create this tag. I can create some other tag. Maybe is long form. I can create it as long. So if I want to add tag to this one, I can add both short and long. Then I can remove the one that I don't want. So let's say for the English that I created now, that one is going to be a long. You see that when you see Yoruba, it's showing short. This one, I can turn this one. Let's say I want to add tag to this one. I want it to be long form. So when I open it, I know that, okay, this English video, I'm making it as a long form content. Let's say, okay, this is my content calendar. So under this content calendar, whenever idea comes to me, I want to jot them down here. You can come to plus and then choose table view. Don't forget, this one is just table. Now, let's choose table view and you will see the difference between table and table view. Table view will bring your content in form of a table. You can see this is table view. This is table, just like an ordinary table. This is table view where you can add a page to each one. Let's open this one now. Let's say, okay, I remember something, and I want to dump my brain here. I can just call it, maybe I want to make a video on don't eat. I'll just say don't eat. I'll title it and I'll say don't eat without bathing. Then I can drop the content here, type the content here. Then I can, if I want to make it a short, I can add, or I can create a tag here. Let me tag it short. This one is short. I just want to talk about it briefly. I've given it the short tag. Okay, now let's say the next thing. I can just title this one. Let me title this one brain dump, because I just want to be dumping anything that comes to my mind here. So here now, let me say, okay, I want to talk about myself. I want to talk about myself. Let me give it a tag. Let's say I want to make this one a long form. I can just type long and create that one here. So I'll make this one a long form. What and what do I want to talk about myself? I want to talk about my name. Let me say I want to list it. I can, if I want to list, you can also add here and select. Maybe you want it to be in form of to-do list, such that you will be ticking it once you are done. And if you want to give it two bullets, or make it number listed, you can do whatever you want to do here. Let's say I want to make it bullet. I will say, okay, I want to talk about my name. I want to talk about my age, the class I am, my work, my children. I'm just listing these things so that when I am making the video, I will remember the points that I want to talk about. So that is that. So let's say, okay, I have now decided that, okay, I will post about myself on December 1st. I will post about myself on December, or let's say, okay, I want to post on Christmas Day. I will open another page and I will just call it Sally, or I just say I love you. Maybe on Boxing Day I want to talk about love. So I now say love is whatever, whatever. I will type it. I will give it a tag long form. Which day do I want to post it? Okay, now let's say I've decided that, okay, I now later decided that I want to post this one on December 26th, Boxing Day. I will now go to, this is November. I will now scroll like this to December. I will go and look for December 26th. This is December 26th. I'll now bring this one. I'll put my cursor here. See, you can see that it has bring this hand. That means you can drag it. Then you click and then you move and then you paste it on this date. So on December 26th, I want to post about I love you. Let's say I want to post about myself on December 1st. Where is December 1st? This is December 1st. Then I can take this now and move it and drop it at November 1st. But initially it started as me listing out my ideas, the ideas that came to my mind, just dumping my brain here. So I can just dump it here. Then when I now know when I want to post them, I can then move them into the calendar. So that is how to create a content calendar, an organized content calendar using Notion. And there are a whole lot of other things that you can do in Notion. Okay, now let's talk about this client form. Let's say you want to create a form. You can create a form in Notion also. Let's say I want to create the form, but I don't want the form to be directly here. Maybe I might still want to talk about something else about my clients. Then I can decide that, okay, maybe I have a lot of clients forms. So I can take this plus. Maybe the first client I want to talk about is Baker. Then I can say Baker. This form is for Baker. Then I can take plus here, and then I'll go and look for form. Go and look for form. Scroll down till you see form. This is form. It is new actually. Then this is form. Note that when you create a form here, only members can fill out the form, which means you need to add the person to the form before the person can fill it. So I can create my question. But for this one, let's go to the next one. When you create next, let's click on plus. It will ask, maybe you want, that one, the first two were already there before I filled them. So it will ask, maybe it is number you want to use it for. Then I can put number. Then I'll say your number. Okay, let's leave it as number. Let's create another one. It's just like Google Form. If you don't know how to use Google Form too, I'll create a video on Google Form. Let's say you want the person to paste a URL. then you put URL and you say your website so that the person can fill in their website here. If I want this test to be required, I can choose required. That is, the person must answer this question. This one too, if I want it to be required, I can choose required. So that is how to create a form in um Notion. Now, how do you now add people? Because if you don't add anybody to this Notion, if you share it with the person will not be able to answer it. So you now come to share here. You can share anything you want to share. So if you want to share now, you now have to select how you want to share it. Do you want to share? Do you want to invite the person? You can add the person's email here. These are the ones that I have used before. Or you can, if you want to invite the person, you can click invite. Only you and people you invited can access. So if I want to invite someone to fill this form, I can copy this link and then go and send it to that person. But if I want to limit it to a number of people that I want to add it to, then I can also do that for me to share the form with someone. So if I want to click on form, I can do that like this. And you can also share, let's say I want to share all my Notion class with someone. I want anybody to be able to edit it or whatever. Then I can come to share here and then I can select invite only or anyone with link. People invited and workspace members with link can access. So if I click on this one now, that means if I share this link with anyone, anybody with this link will be able to access it. So that's for members with link. And then I have to grant access. Am I granting the person full access to this workspace, or I want the person for can edit? The person can only edit if it is if I use the plus version, can comment or can view. If I just want the person to view and not tamper with my workspace, I'll just put can view. Then I'll copy the link and I share it with the person. Anyhow you want, just like we do on Google and Google Document or Google Workspace, you can do the same thing on Notion Workspace. So this is how to use Notion. If you have any question or any concern on how to use Notion, maybe you've tried it and you don't know how to do a particular thing on it, leave it in the comment section and I will answer your question. Stay tuned and see you in the next video.